Welcome. In this video I'm going to be taking a look at this Dregin tire inflator portable air compressor. So this was provided to me by the distributor, but they're not compensating me for this video and they're not reviewing it before I post it. If you find this video helpful and you want to purchase one of these, I'll put a link to it in the description on Amazon, and if you use that link it helps me out a little bit and doesn't cost you anything extra. Let's get this open. Here we have a user guide. It says safety instruction. Read the instructions before use. The machine body and air hose will be hot if you work it for too long. Please have a rest after using for 8 to 10 minutes. So that's something to consider. This is probably not really meant for commercial use. This is meant for residential use for occasionally filling up a tire. Here's the product intro. We have the air hose interface, plus button, display screen, pressure unit switch, LED light switch, charging indicator light, charging port, LED light, minus button, on off switch, and DC power cord. These are the accessories. We have a press to valve adapter, a ball gas nozzle, fuse, storage bag, DC power cord, USB Type-C charging cord, and air hose. Here's the operating guide. So it has a battery indicator on there. 4 bars is high, 1 bar is low. Please charge before use. Use USB Type-C charging cord. Red means charging, blue means fully charged. So there's 2 different methods to use this. One is powering with the DC power cord. So it says start your car, connect the power cord to the inflator, plug it into your cigarette lighter, screw the air hose on, connect it to your tire, long press the on-off switch to turn it on, preset the pressure, press the on-off switch to inflate it. After the inflator is done, turn off the switch. Method 2 is battery. Screw the air hose on the main body, connect the air hose, long press the on-off switch to turn it on, set the pressure, press on to start inflating, turn it off after it's done. So this does have an LED flashlight in it. You want to press U for 3 seconds to turn that on. This says the display will turn off automatically after 40 seconds. Here you preset the pressure, so you can press U to change the units, so you can press up or down to change the pressure. And here's some recommended tire pressures. So I wouldn't really recommend going by these. You should find out the pressure you need for your actual device. And it has a fuse in the end of the DC plug, and here are some specs. This takes 75 watts. The battery capacity is 2,000 milliamp hours. Now the Amazon description said it had 6,000 milliamp hours, so I'm not sure about that. It said it had 3 2,000 milliamp hour batteries, so that might be talking about per battery. It says battery power is 22.2 watt hours. Okay, and that makes sense here. So battery power is 22.2 watt hours. So if you take 2,000 milliamp hours times 3.7 times 3, you get 22.2 watt hours. The air hose is 40 centimeters. Charging port is Type-C. Okay, so I think that's it there. Let's pull this out. So it comes with a bag, and these would be the accessories. I'll dump those out in here maybe. Okay, pull this out. So here we have that flashlight, inflator port, charge port. This is the DC power in, and here are the buttons in the display. Here's the DC cord, and here's the USB Type-C charge cord. So that makes it very convenient. You can charge this pretty much anywhere. So a lot of modern cars have USB ports. You could charge this, but you could also charge this with a phone adapter, power bank, solar, you name it. And here are the adapters to hook up to do things like do inflatables or fill up a basketball. This is for Presta for like higher end bicycles. So it does say on Amazon not to run this for more than 30 minutes continuous too. And it says it does not support LT, or truck tires. So they recommend it for car, bike, air mattress, inflatable boats, balls, and other inflatables. So the air hose will screw in the end here. It has like a sort of strain relief on it. So I'll screw that in. And there's a little O-ring there, so I'll compress that. On the other end, we have a standard inflator fitting for like a bike pump. So you put this on, and then you squeeze it to tighten it down. Let's see if I can turn this on. I'll hold down the button. And here we have the display. This display is super easy to read in person. It's very visible. Even at different angles, I mean, it fades a little bit when you turn it this way, but from here, it's pretty easy to read, but in the camera, it's a little hard to read. But it's because the way the camera picks it up. There, that's what I'm seeing. For the, it's even in person, it's better than that. Let's see if I get closer. So it's real hard to see this on camera, but it looks good in person. So I can hit U to change the units. We have bar, kilopascals, kilograms per centimeter, and PSI. And then we can change the PSI here. So here's 36. So I can press the power button. And that will turn on. So let's see what this goes up to. Oh, I actually have a good bead on that screen there. So I'm just holding it down. Oop, looks like it went to 150. So I have bike tires that go up to 125. Yeah, it looks like it went up to 150. So to turn it off, I'll just hold down the power button. So then we can charge this with USB-C. I'll plug this in here, and we're charging it. It's charging at 0.46 amps. Now that can vary. So this does also have a flashlight on it. While the device is on, you hold down the U, it will turn the flashlight on. So this is off, this is on. Can't say this is the best flashlight in the world. If it's all you have, it would do the job. The light on it's not super even, but it's nice to include it just in case you don't have another flashlight. And if it's dark out, it could come in handy. It is also pointing out the same direction as the inflator. So if you're trying to inflate something in the dark, it's pointing in the right direction. So being that this is portable, I'll take this out and find some tires. We'll try inflating them with this. Okay, so I'm here at my car. This is a Subaru Outback, and here's my rear wheel. And to find out your tire pressure, you want to open up the driver's door, and usually it's on the inside jamb here. You're going to see the tire pressures here. So this says the rear tire is 33 psi. So we'll go here, we'll take off the cap, we'll connect the inflator, turn this on. It is a little low, so I will hit plus and change this to 33. Okay, and I'll hit power to inflate. Okay, it reached 33 psi and shut off. So needless to say, it's not the fastest way to inflate your tires, but it's certainly incredibly convenient. Let's try inflating a bicycle tire. So I don't have a lot of room here, but here's my bike. The tires on here take 75 psi. I'm going to set the camera down while I connect this up. Okay, I have this set up here. So I'll hold this down, I'll change that to 75. Okay, and this should be a little faster. We're at 29 now, but this shouldn't take too long, I wouldn't think. And there we go. That is super easy. After I did that, I did all 4 tires on the car. I checked the tire pressures on my trailer, and the spare was a few PSI low, so I filled that up. Then I took it over to my SUV, which had LT tires. I knew they were mostly up to pressure, but I hooked this up anyway, and they were, probably a PSI or 2 short. But on a tire that big, it can take a little bit to inflate it. So I understand they don't want people to fill up truck tires with this, because if you're inflating the whole tire, that could overheat this thing. But I just put, 1.5 pounds of pressure in each one on all 4 tires with this. So I did, let's see, 8 car tires, a spare, so that was 9 tires, topping them off, and then the 1 bike tire. And let's turn this on. The battery, I think it was about 2 bars, so maybe it's about half full. Not saying fully full, but if I use it, it might go down. Let's see if I... Now it's at 3 bars. And batteries can do that. They can kind of recalibrate. So right now it's showing 3 bars. So like I said, this isn't really for like production use. You're not going to go into a tire shop and find them inflating tires with these. But for maintenance and emergency use and filling up inflatables, I think this thing's going to be great. One thing to point out is that you're supposed to inflate your tires when they're cold. So the best time to do it would be in the morning, not after you drive on them. You're supposed to wait, I think, like 3 hours after you drive to check your pressure in them. So if you don't have any sort of inflator and you have to drive to the gas station, you're driving your car and heating up those tires, so you're not going to get as accurate of a reading. So this is really nice. You can just go hook this up to your car, hit the button, and inflate it. And my wife and I both drive Subarus, and they're all-wheel drive. And with all-wheel drive, you really do want the correct pressure in all your tires, and you want them to be even. Even if the PSI is off, you want them to be even. So if you set all tires with the same device, you're going to have even pressure. So you're not putting undue wear on the drivetrain. So I went around and checked the pressure on all 4 of my tires and set it with this. So they're all going to be very close to each other now, being that they were set with the same device. So I think this is really slick. I think I'm going to throw this in the back of the car. I think I'm going to start taking this with me when I travel. Right now I have one that I have to plug in, which you can do with this, but this is much more convenient. So if you're off somewhere, you notice a tire having a little slow leak, you can top it off to take yourself to the gas station. Also, if you get a flat tire, huge nail in it, you can't inflate it. Unless you check it regularly, there's a good chance your spare is going to be low. So you could use this to fill your spare up to the proper pressure. So real quick, I'm going to test out the 12 volt on here. I can't imagine I'm going to use the 12 volt very often. I really like the portability of the battery, but I have a power bank here that has 12 volt on it. I'll plug this in, turn it on. Okay, so let me start it up. So you can see this was drawing 52 watts. Now it is drawing 0 watts when it's not running. So I did want to test this because I was curious if this will charge the battery. It does not appear to be charging the battery because it's saying 0 watts right now. If it was charging the battery, that would show more than 0 watts. So if you're running it off 12 volt, that will only power the inflator, not charge the battery. So that's something to keep in mind, is to keep your USB cable around for charging. So that's the Dregin Tire Inflator Portable Air Compressor. I think this is a very slick product. I like that this is super compact. So I have a number of different ways to air up my tires. This is certainly the most compact. I like that it has a lot of power in it. So when I use my regular air compressor, that's the fastest way to do it. But I have to carry it to an outlet. I have to plug it in. I have to let it fill up. I have to get the air hose connected up and run that. It's just a huge hassle. It takes more time to set the thing up than it does to inflate the tires. This thing, I can set near a tire, plug it in, hit the button, and then just walk away and do something else. When it's done, I can say move it to another tire. So that makes it super convenient. I do have some other inflators that you actually have to press a button on to inflate. They're not automatic like this, so that is also another feature. Like I said, you can set it and then just walk away. I don't know if I mentioned, but this is all hard plastic here, so you wouldn't want to throw this around. It's not rubberized or anything. So if you're someone that needs rubberized things, this may not work for you, but I tend to take pretty good care of my stuff. But I do like that this comes with a case to put this in, so I can put this in the case and then put all the accessories in with it, like the charge cables and such, and then throw it in the back of the car, and it's ready to go. So that's all I'm going to cover in this video. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. If you like this video, please click like. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, I'd appreciate if you could do that. And thanks for watching. Until next time, goodbye.